All right, so where we are now is I kind of firmed up my box. I've X'd it off, 1, 2, 3, and I actually extended out the lines of my box a little bit. Now as I'm drawing this, I'm thinking less and less about this and more about, does this line that I'm going to draw here make sense with the lines that I've got on here. It has to, I'm looking at the bottom line here, I'm looking at the top line here, I'm holding my ruler up, I'm siding it. This is all should be really familiar from the last project. I'm trying to get that midline here. I found my point. Step back from it, look at it. Do I like that line? If I draw from here through my next midline, does it make sense? It has to. I'm going to make it make sense. This midline is really important because this is going to be my midplane. So actually, in looking at that, I kind of need that to be, it's going to make an adjustment on my other line. I'm going to draw that all the way around my box. It's a string that I'm drawing all the way around my box. That should sound familiar as well. Okay, finally when I get over here, hopefully everything lines up and makes sense. I can't just connect those two dots blindly, as it has to not only connect the two dots, but it also has to make sense with the lines on either side. Step back from it, look at it, firm it up a little. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it looks good, it is good, right? If it looks bad, it is bad. Step back from it, look at it in the mirror, anything you can do to kind of get some objectivity with it. Now the thing is, I've got two other planes that I chopped in here. One that goes this way, pow pow, and I'm going to draw that. And there's also one that comes through this way, which could be useful for me as well. But the most important one is the one that I just drew. That one is incredibly important. There's something about this line and this line that I'm not loving. It feels a little bit, oh geez. These two feel a little parallel to me. Can I adjust this a little? I feel like I can't do much with that line, but I can maybe bring this one up a little. Like that's got to come down here, and that one's got to come over. one's got to come. A small adjustment, but an important one. All right, that feels better. Now I'm going to try and go this direction. I'm going to get all three of these and make them make sense. Although the other two aren't going to be nearly as important as this one. But depending on your object, it might be that you are going to be putting the midplane on, putting that profile in there and doing this one as well. I actually changed my mind. Rather than draw this next midplane, I'm going to try and keep it sort of simple for the moment. So I know that on my object, this plane, this profile plane, is going to be the one that I really want to spend some time with. So I want to firm that up a little. Once I feel like I've got it, I'm going to firm it up. Then what I want to do is I want to draw the crisscross on that midplane. Let's leave those other planes for now. We can come back to them. Let's get this done. Okay, so check it out. I went diagonal to diagonal in the midplane. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to crisscross it this other way, just like I did on the outside. Right through that center. I'm looking at my other lines, making sure that this makes sense with them. No longer looking at my little study. I'm just looking at my big lines here. This should make sense. It ought to line up with that crisscross down here. Whatever it does though, it's got to make sense internally. These have got to go to the vanishing points. And it's got to make sense. Can you see the mid-plane here that I've created? On that mid-plane, I'm going to draw this shape. That's going to be the next big step that we take. But this profile is going to go in there. What that means is I'm going to end up erasing some of these other lines, get them out of the way. I'll erase them down to ghost image, but I'm going to erase some of these diagonals. The only diagonals I care about at this point are going to be the diagonals that are on that midplane. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to leave it there for a minute, and I'm going to come back and firm this thing up, and then I'll be back to show you what we're going to do on this.